I got into writing mostly just because I loved reading. I was a really voracious reader as a child. I was kind of constantly at the library. And I think of writing as a kind of extension of my love for reading. And so much of what I do now is trying to kind of recapture that feeling of being engrossed in a book. I grew up mostly in Alabama, but I come from Ghana, a country in West Africa. And I think, the combination of those two places is something that has always really interested me, and trying to figure out what connected those two experiences are really what informed the writing of Homegoing. My sophomore year at Stanford, I received a fellowship called the Chapaluji to travel to Ghana and conduct research for a novel. And it was while there that I took a tour at the Cape Coast Castle, which is a slave fort that still stands in what is now known as Cape Coast, Ghana. And that trip to the castle really informed my desire to write this book. The tour guide started to talk to us about how the British soldiers who used to live and work in the castle would sometimes marry the local women, which was something I didn't know. And then he took us down to see the dungeons. And once you leave the dungeons, there's a little hallway that ends with a small wooden door, and on the top of the door it says the door of no return. And the guide explained to us that once the slaves passed through this door, it led directly onto the beach and led directly to the ships that they would be packed on and taken through the Middle Passage onto places like America. And so the door of no return kind of symbolized the fact that they would never come back to their home country ever again. And so I think that whole tour, that whole experience is really what inspired this book. I hope that what the book does is that it shows the fact that so much of what we see in the present is rooted in our history, so that everything that we're experiencing today can be put in context. And so I think one of the lessons of the book, if there is a lesson of the book, is to not forget our history.